Hey guys, I've recorded this video once already and I didn't like the way it turned out, so I'm recording it again. I wanted to give the reasons why I bought the 2022 Grom as my first bike, and maybe hopefully if you're looking at motorcycles it can actually help your decision or discourage your decision either to or to not to get this bike. So the reason why I got this bike was, number one, the size. Now granted, I'm in my backyard and there is a retaining wall, so it's going to look a little bit bigger than normal, but the size of the bike to a first beginner rider is not intimidating at all. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and her husband has a Gixxer 600 and she likes it, but she says it's too big and too fast. So, and she's ridden like baby dirt bikes, you know, Honda 80s or something, and there was I think it was a Chinese knockoff riding around where we were at, and she was like, that looks cool. So he's like, I could do something like that because of the size. It was two girls riding around in this little area that we were at and just having a blast. So for one, as a new rider, the size of it's not going to be intimidating, and plus the motor with this little 125cc, it's not going to go fast. Your top speed is going to be like 55 miles an hour. It cruises really well at 50. I haven't really gotten above 62, and that was on a straight. So you're not going to go fast. This is mainly in-town commuters. So if you want to go your back roads, your fast back roads, your two-lane back roads that are 50 miles an hour, this isn't the bike for that. This is basically you're in town. I do have back roads out here, then they're about 30 miles an hour. This is perfect for that. But going up to 50-60 miles an hour, this ain't your bike. With it being such a low cc, and you'll see me here, I'm going to look at my phone because I do have my notes here. On your accidental, if you slip the throttle, whatever, which we all do, if you slip this thing and you accidentally go, this thing is very forgiving. It doesn't have enough power to, all it's going to do is go up on you a little bit and then go. It's not going to, the front wheel is not going to lift up. It's going to give you a little, hey there, you might want to take it easy. So it's just to get that right hand, that throttle, what do they call it? Your throttle hand with your muscle memory. It's a perfect bike for that. The other reason why I wanted to get the Grom was, well, first off, good luck finding a Grom. How I ended up getting this one was I called a dealership that was 40 miles away, and they said, we've got two in stock, we're not holding them, if it's first come first serve. So called up a coworker who was looking. He says, let's go. So I called him back and said, we'll be there in an hour. So they built the second one and we went and picked them up. So the Groms, they're not holding them for anybody. If they have them, they have them. They're not special ordering them. So kind of like good luck getting a Grom. The 2022 is the one I wanted, and I didn't want a 2020 or lower, or older. 22's got the 5-speed gearbox. The 5th gear is amazing. I like the looks of the 22 because it's got that scrambler design, especially like right back here. We can get rid of that later. And you know, if you wanted to, you could put some knobby tires on it, and you know, this is a great second bike. You can go and take it off-road, on-road. You could do whatever you want with this thing. It's a great bike. See if I can get a better view of it over here. Yeah, right here. It's got that like scrambler design. I mean, they did a good job with this bike. And right now, it's just good luck finding one. So I mean, I'm sure there's plenty on the used, and they're up there. In my area, they're about $400 to $4,500 to get one, and that's used. Good luck finding a 22. So I mean, there's some unicorns out there. If you can find a unicorn, get it, pick it up. The other reason why I was attracted to the bike was the price. MSRP is on the 22 $33.99. Out the door, we got it to about $4,000. So you're talking brand new motorcycle, $4,000 out the door, gone. TTL, gone. So the price was really good on it. That, and with it being a Honda, you've got the aftermarket support. Now granted, you're going to pay the R&D tax on the 22 models because it's new, and they got to figure out what has to go where and how different is it from the current model. So yeah, you're going to be paying R&D taxes on your current mods. Granted, your exhaust right here, that will fit like a 2020 on back. So they didn't really change that, just not the OG style, just the SF. These things are built to a price point. There was somebody who commented on the video earlier and asked about, you know, it's the sprockets or whatever. You got to think these things are built to a price point. So the chains, not that good. I mean, the rear sprocket, it could be better. Your bar ends, I mean, they're dinky, really dinky. Your clutch levers, I mean, everything's built to a price point. So once you start upgrading stuff to it, it will be better than the OEM stuff. But just as it sits, it's a good bike out of the box, especially for a beginner like me. I've only been riding for about 5-6 months. I can't tell much of anything. It runs, it drives, it's great. There's no problems with it. Change the oil, fine. Does really great for me. So with it being kind of going back to what we said about the size, now there are other mini motos that are out there. You've got the Monkey, which to me, not really, not my style, but a lot of people do like it. It's just not for me. You've got the Navi, which good luck finding a Navi right now. But these things right here are far more superior than a Navi, with the upside down forks, with the 125 motor, 5-speed transmission. This thing outshines the Navi like just tenfold. The PF moto, the Chinese PF moto, sat on them, feels heavier. I understand they have the 6-speed, it's a 126cc. They feel heavier than a Grom. They feel nice. I've just sat on them, but it feels heavier than a Grom. The Grom feels nice. It feels nice. I haven't got a chance to drive one, but it would be nice to actually drive one and compare it. But the Grom feels really nice. The Kawasaki Z125, now I've actually had this for my MSF course. Great bike. I just didn't like the ergonomics on the bike. Your pegs seem like they sit up higher on the bike. It's like what I feel like. And the ergonomics on the Grom are so much better. And I've heard they're on the 22. They're so much better. Guys, this is my leg. This is how I drive. My leg sits perfect right here on the pegs. I can actually hold this tank with my legs. And the ergonomics on this thing are perfect. So the Z125, it was very uncomfortable feeling, and I just didn't like it, but I'm glad I actually got a chance to ride it and test it out. They have the Benelli TNT 135, which is what 10 cc's bigger, supposed to be the Grom killer. It's an Italian bike made in China. I sat on that one. Seems like you sit far forward on that bike than you do on a Grom. A Grom you're a little bit more back on. So no, I mean, granted they're cheaper. I mean, your Grom's going to be it's not as much as a Monkey. I think it's like the second more expensive bike with the mini motos, and there's a reason why. So there's a reason why you're paying a little bit more for a Grom than you are for anything else. What was I on the CF? No, I already did that one. The Benelli. Benelli didn't really have the right ergonomics for me, or for what I felt and sat on it. The Grom felt better. And then you've got your Chinese knockoffs of the Groms. You've got the SF Chinese knockoffs, the OG Chinese knockoffs. I'm sure they're great bikes. They're carbureted. Once you get them dialed in, I'm sure they're great. You could probably, once the motor goes out, you could probably get you a Grom motor and slap it on in there, or a 300 and slap it on in there. I'm sure if you want to stunt those things, that would be the perfect bike to buy and stunt. So I'm not sure how much they are now. I remember looking at them then. They were about around $1,500 then. But I mean, for something to stunt and for something to practice on and do like that, and hell, I mean, you can drive them on the street and practice on them. I mean, if you were a if you're an inexpensive person, then yeah, there's probably nothing wrong with it. You just got to be a little mechanically inclined for it. So anyways, this is my reasons of why the Grom works for me, and I hope the production of them ramps up so other people can get Groms, because they're great bikes. They're excellent, beautiful bikes. So, and I just wish people had more of a chance to actually experience these things, and hopefully that will be true. So anyways, guys, this is my little take on it. I want you guys to comment below, tell me what your opinions are, and I want you guys to have a great day. Thank you very much. Run your fucking race ass out. So the only way how I got this, the only reason, or has a Gixxer 600 English sucks. Her husband in my area, they're about 4,000, 4,500 miles, or 4,000 to 4. They're about the Kawasaki Z125. I actually had this for my MSF course. And are we coming back now? Let's go, Racer Boy. Piece of shit.